Coming to you direct from the Glass Case of Emotion studios, located at Student of the Gun University. Stand by for education, enlightenment, and entertainment. He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, your host, Professor Paul Markel. Well, I guess it's my cue to talk. Thanks, Johnny, and welcome to a new week of Student of the Gun Radio. We sincerely appreciate you being out there. We sincerely appreciate our friends Madison Rising for giving us that hard-rocking Madison Rising music to use as our opening and closing. Madison Rising is a patriotic band. They are a 100% pro-Second Amendment band. They're a pro-Constitution, pro-America band. And if you haven't checked them out yet, you're wrong like dick cancer. And you need to check them out at madisonrising.com. I'm sure they have a Facebook page. I'm sure they have a Twitter feed. I'm sure they have everything. So when you do that, go ahead and pop on in. Say, hey, Madison Rising, I heard about you guys on Student of the Gun Radio. So, or don't. I don't care. Do what you want to do.
I care. Please do it.
Oh, Jared cares. Thank you, Jared. That is Jared. He's on the outside of the glass case of emotion.
I'm not allowed in because there's too much emotion in
There's too much emotion bouncing. We had to put in extra thick hurricane glass to keep the emotions within the case.
I was going to say the walls are spinning from all the gayness, but that's not correct.
No, that's
not the right one. I don't know if did he ever. Oh, it's mind bottling. That was the bottle one.
Mind bottling. The walls are spinning was Ricky Bobby.
Yeah,
and the
same
glass
person,
case of emotion was Anchorman.
Yeah,
there you go. Get your Will Ferrell movies right there. All right, in your crotchal region. We hope that everyone was able to spend some time with their families this weekend. We hope that you were able to celebrate safely and positively and securely in your own way. As we're recording this, we're obviously, well, not obviously, but you're like, you are hearing this pre-recorded. Believe it or not. You're like, what? You mean you're not actually sitting in the studio right now feeding this directly to iTunes or Stitcher? No, we pre-recorded.
Well, this is 2015, so...
It is 2015.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. We actually had somebody say, well, how come you're not on the real radio? Well, I could be on, like, the local radio and reach a few thousand people at a time.
I think the local radio station reaches only like 37,000 or something like
total.
that. Yeah,
like total outrage, 37,000.
Yeah.
Or I could reach like 20 times that number worldwide and talk to you folks in the UK and Switzerland and Australia. Good day, mate.
Got Johnny Red.
And what?
Johnny Red.
Johnny Red?
Yep, Johnny Red from Canada.
Oh, Johnny Red from Canada. Oh, yeah. In Canada, we reach across the borders into Canada. The Canadian authorities, RCMP, hasn't figured out a way to stop our signal from traveling into Canada yet. So cross your fingers there, guys. I am your host, Professor Paul Markel. We are at Student of the Gun University, and that is Jared. And today, being Monday, that means it's our SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. And if you want to be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week, you're like, ooh, Mr. Cotter, I want to be the Warrior of the Week. How do I do that? Well, it's ridiculously simple. You just call 682-207-7684, and you leave a message. You leave a short, concise, succinct question. And you guys are actually, you're doing a really good job at that. When we first opened this up, people were calling and leaving like short,
2 minutes,
like short stories.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up this morning
and it wasn't even a question,
and had coffee, and then I sat down, and then no, you guys are doing a really good job. If you want to hear your voice on Student of the Gun Radio, just do that, and Jared will pick if we think that your question will benefit not just you but other people. Well, then we might pick you, and you'll get a free bottle of SWAT Fuel 9mm plus P from our good buddies at SWAT Fuel. Check those guys out at. Well, I don't know how to find them. If I went to SWATfuel.com, would they be there?
They would.
They would be. Oh, okay.
There's some testimonials there, too, if you guys are kind of on the fence about the product.
Yeah, there are.
And I know that there are a lot of supplements out there, and I was one of those people that was on the line, on the fence, on the line. I was on the fence about...
That's where you put your pictures.
Yeah, that's where I put my pictures. I was on the fence about taking a new supplement because all the other ones were like snake oil salesmen. But SWAT Fuel really works, and the only way to do that is to try some. And so that's why we're doing this. We're giving you... Well, actually, we're not giving you. We are just providing the route for Dano to give you a free bottle of 9mm plus B, so you know it works.
Amen, brothers and sisters. All right, brother, hit it.
Hey guys, this is Lewis calling for that SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week question. Here's my question. What is the OC spray that you would recommend? Size, make, model, and carry method. Thanks. Have a good day.
All right, Lewis. Excellent question.
Did you see how concise that was?
It was an excellent, very concise question. It was to the point. It was quick. It was very poignant. All right. And it's a good question because, unfortunately, pepper spray, OC, whatever you want to call it, is a subject of great contention. Well, it's like everything else in the gun culture world. We love to argue with each other over tools and what have you. But when it comes to buying a tool that you're going to use, hopefully, or maybe to save your life or at least keep somebody from punching you in the face or molesting you, you want to make a good decision. And there is a lot of stuff out there that is crap. And you're like, what? Well, how could that be? It's for sale. I mean, certainly there are rules and regulations, and no, there's really not. And I'll tell you this is what you want to do. What do I use? Fox, F-O-X, or Guardian. Fox and Guardian are my two go-tos. I've used a ton. I can't even imagine how much Fox pepper spray I've used in the last 20 years. Maybe, or 15 years or whatever. I guess I started using Fox in 99, 98, 99, something like that. When they first started, so I got a sample of it and I tried it. And I was like, wow, this is like the dragon's breath. This is liquid death. But the reason I use the Fox is because, not only does it work, but it's a sold to law enforcement product, and that is a BFD, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big freaking deal. You're like, well, why is that such a big deal? Because when the companies are making pepper spray, OC products, they know the guys that are making the stuff that's on the keychain garbage, that's on the spindly rack, they know that less than 1% of those are ever going to be used. Less than 1% of all those little stupid keychain pepper sprays are ever going to be used, at least not to save somebody's life. They know that. They're going to spend their entire lives hanging on your girlfriend or your wife or your daughter's key ring and never be used. And however, if it's a product that's sold to law enforcement agencies or corrections departments or sheriff's departments or whatever, if that they know there that at least half of all of those that are sold are going to be used in some form or fashion. So that cops are going to find out really quick, fast, in a hurry if that stuff they bought is good or bad, if it works or does not work, if it's junk or if it's junk, they're going to dump it, they're going to get rid of it quick. So you're like, well, but I can't. I'm not allowed to buy police stuff. Like, well, here's the deal: if you live in a state that won't allow you to buy something as simple as pepper spray because you peasants can't be trusted with it, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm sorry for your luck.
Man, I was watching a video.
Carry a paperback book or a magazine.
I don't remember what video it was, but I was watching a video yesterday that was. It was an advertisement for some kind of personal defense device, and in the video it had two women and they were being interviewed by somebody with a microphone, and the dude you couldn't see the person with the microphone, but the person asked him if they'd carry a gun, and they said, no, I never do that, and if they'd carry pepper spray, and one of the chicks is like, don't you need a permit for that? I don't know of any states that you need a permit for pepper spray.
No, but there are many states.
But there are many states that don't let you
cities,
carry
municipalities that you're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, or you can carry it like a half an ounce or whatever that doesn't even work.
Yeah, it's crap. You have to ask yourself if the municipal leaders, my state leaders, don't trust me enough to, who are they trying to protect? And I don't want to go off on that tangent right now, but here's the deal: Fox is good stuff. Guardian is good stuff. When it comes time to buy it, you can buy it from Amazon. If you're fortunate and you have a local police and security supply store near you, the place close to us is called Barney's Police Supply. But where you live, if you live in a large municipal area or near one, you're probably going to be able to find a police and security supply store. If you do nothing else, listen to me. I've taught hundreds of police and security and citizens alike how to use pepper spray. I was a law enforcement instructor for, 2 decades or almost 15, 16 years, something. I don't know. A long time. I've sprayed personally. Either in the real world or in training, I figured it out. It was in excess of 300 humans. And aggressive dogs, aggressive cats, aggressive freaking, you know what is aggressive and nasty, Jared?
Armadillos.
No, possums.
Oh, possum.
You ever get a possum cornered in a garage or something, and it hisses at you like the devil?
No.
Yeah, they do. Rabid raccoons. I had that's a totally different story, but dude, you know what? Did we set the raccoon attack story up for the 5 strategies outreach? Did we put that in there?
I don't know.
You need to write that down immediately. You need to take a note, because I've got a rabid raccoon attack story that I want to share when we launch the 5 strategies book in the new grad program. I just remembered that. Write that crap down.
Oh, by the way, I haven't announced it yet I don't think I have talked about it to the public listeners about the special. I'm glad that we have a SOTG grad program members Facebook group, and it's only for grad program members, obviously, but myself being the person that I am, I was rushing when I was scheduling the grad program last week, and so I set it for 4 because grad program goes out at 4 a.m. on Fridays. So I hit the little 4 button, and then I saved it and I hit schedule. So it's scheduled, and I woke up Friday morning and I went into the grad program group, and everybody's like, "Hey,
dude, where's your stuff?
Dude, did anybody else not get their email?" And I was like, "Oh crap, what happened?" So I looked, and myself set it as 4 p.m. instead of 4 a.m.
How come that's not set for 24-hour time?
Because they are Gumroad, and I don't know. You know, I'll give it to them though, because they
need
have
to set it for 24-hour time.
They do. They have come a long way since when we first started with them. They were brand new, and basically all you could do was sell digital products, and that was it. And then they added the subscription thing, and then now they're adding a bunch of other stuff. So I'm kind of sad that we're going to be leaving them for the new grad program thing, but you guys are going to love it.
All right. So there you go, and you're welcome. And back to pepper spray. Here's the deal: you want to buy pepper spray from a quality, seller, police supply store. You can go to Amazon.com and you can get it. And you say, well, what's the deal with the keychain things? Well, let me tell you. This is what the keychain thing. This is why they're bad. 2 reasons. Number one, they're small. That little container that the pepper spray is in was not built and designed for a high pressure. It was built and designed for breath freshener or eyeglass cleaner. All right. It wasn't that little container, that little generic container wasn't built specifically for the pepper spray company.
Well, you're just trying to sell Fox and Guardian because you have stock in their companies.
No, actually, I don't.
We don't. So,
but so it doesn't hold enough pressure to really be effective. And number 2, when you put crap on your keychain like the pepper spray, this is what happens. You give it to your wife, you give it to your daughter, whatever. They put it on there. And then 6 months down the road, they have completely, totally forgotten about it. They're not thinking, oh, I have this thing. No, it just becomes a key fob. It's just a thing hanging off their keys. You want something to be a dedicated tool. You want them to actually put the dedicated tool in their hands. Teach your wives. I do this myself. I've actually in coats and jackets put it in my front pocket so that when I'm walking I can just slip my hand in, put it on the can, and then if go into the car or what have you, I can pull it out real quick and use it if I need to. But pepper spray, Fox and OC or Fox OC Guardian is a good one. Make sure that it's 3/4 of an ounce or larger. And like I said, if you live in an area that restricts it, I don't know what to tell you, brothers. Carry a paperback book or a magazine, or get a copy of the city's policy and then hold it up in front of you. When someone's about to smash your teeth down your throat, take that piece of paper and hold it in front of you, and that might stop them.
It's kind of cool. The other day at the gym, James was in there, and he pulled out his flashlight. He has, like, his little belt, his everyday carry belt.
His ninja belt?
Yeah. It wasn't his police duty belt. It's just his off-duty, what I'm going to carry belt. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he gets excited over the dumbest little things, like the thing that he was using to hold his keys on his belt.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, what else you got on there? So he showed me what he had. He pulled out his flashlight, and he's like, oh, look at this little thing. It takes 1 AA battery, and it's so bright. So I was like, oh, Alex has this Bright Strike light. So I went over to, and what do you have?
The Surefire backup.
Oh, yeah, I need to get one of those. I need to get another little flashlight. But anyway, so I went over, and Alex has a Bright Strike flashlight. And the
pen light?
Yeah, the pen light.
Oh, those are good.
I know, I love those. So I went to her pack that she carries with her everywhere, and I was like, okay, I'm going to find this light. So I couldn't find the light. I was like, where's your light? She's like, oh, it's right here on me. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So she had her light and her knife on her. And
what?
I was looking in the pack.
I'm so proud right now.
I know.
My heart is just swelling from pride.
Yeah. And then I thought she was sitting over there.
No, she's not sitting over there.
Oh. But anyway, so I could talk about her then. So I went to the...
Because she'll never hear this.
Yeah, when I went to the pack, she had her pepper spray and her pocket lifesaver lined up where she could get to it real quick. I was like, holy cow. I didn't even have to tell her to do that.
Oh, man. She's what good student.
Yeah.
Good student.
Yeah, I know.
She's a graduate of the Beyond the Band-Aid class.
She went to the Beyond the Band-Aid and your Force Options class, too.
That's true. All right, well, speaking of Alex, tell Lewis how he needs to get his SWAT Fuel 9mm plus P for free for being the Warrior of the Week.
Oh, Lewis, you can contact Alex, actually. Alex@studentofthegun.com. And you can give her your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email. And once you do
typed into the body.
Yeah, typed into the body. He'll get it. He's one of those people.
He's hip. Okay.
Yeah. So once you do that, she'll send it over to SWAT Fuel, to Dano, and they'll get your free bottle of 9mm plus P sent out to you. And thank you for calling in to 682-207-7684.
Okay. Also, and don't forget, if anybody can use the promo code, go to their store and use the promo code SOTG2015.
Yeah, SOTG2015. That gets you 10% off of your entire order. And if you don't want to type in SWATfuel.com into your browser, you can go to studentofthegunradio.com, click on 202, and there's a link in there to the store. So click on that link.
All right, moving on. Before we get to the next part of today's show, thank you to Frog Lube. Frog Lube, it just works. It's minty fresh, it's non-petroleum based, and it's not chicken grease. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking to my friend Daryl yesterday at the gun shop that he runs, and he said, I handed him a pistol to look at, and he's like, oh, it's got chicken grease on it. And I looked at him, I'm like, no, it's Frog Lube, dude. He said, yeah, I know. He said, the other day, this girl came in with her friend and was looking to buy a gun, and one of the salesmen pulled the gun out, and he locked the slide back, and he handed it across the counter to her, and she grabbed it, and she's like, she looked up, and she goes, oh, it has chicken grease on it. And her friend's like, no, that's gun oil. Right. Super face palm. So check those guys out, froglube.com. It just works. Century Arms, makers of the C39 micro, pistol, rifle, and RPK. They're so choice. Go to centuryarms.com. And thank you, Dina. I hope Dina's listening.
Jacob travels a lot, so I know he should listen.
But he's just, he's a BDK, and he's not going to listen. He's like, I don't know what channel you guys are on. What station are you on? We're on the Student of the Gun station.
Yeah.
It's easy to find. No, but our very sweet friend Dina at Century Arms sent us a couple of hats, and Jared posted pictures on Facebook, on Student of the Guns Facebook.
It's perfect
with our
fit.
sweet Buddha.
Yeah, that patch is a perfect fit on the hat.
On that hat, the sweet Buddha patch. Zach was wearing that this morning.
Yeah, no, that's all.
Yeah.
He took the patch off so it wouldn't get sun faded.
Yeah, that was good of him to do that. And Brownells at brownells.com. Check those guys out. Make sure you're checking out the new products page. Go to brownells.com. There's a little tab that says, what does it say? Something like new products. Click. What's new at Brownells? Ammo. That's what's new at Brownells.
Oh, yeah. If you guys are part of the grad program, yeah, you guys got the tactical tutor on Friday, and that was all about ammunition. So
I'm kind of excited to intro this next story because, all right, you guys hear my voice and you think, wow, he's so successful that he probably has immigrants that come and mow his lawn for him. No, that's actually not true. I actually get out there in the hot Biloxi sun and mow the lawn myself. And Zach does too. But so yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever, I was out there and I'm pushing the lawnmower around, and I was thinking about show notes. I was thinking about stories. And I remembered this song from my ute. When I was a ute back in the 80s, this song was popular. It was by a guy named Bruce Coburn. And it's a perfect fit for this story. Johnny, play me in. That song is Rocket Launcher by Bruce Coburn. And you guys, I know you're freaking out right now, and you're like running to the computer or your thumb in your phone. You're like, I had no idea that song existed. Well, you're welcome. See, you learned something here. So thank you, Bruce Coburn, for writing the song Rocket Launcher way back in 1984 off his album Stealing Fire. I think it was Stealing Fire or Catching Fire or Doing Something with Fire. Why would we do that? Well, you guys remember our friend from California, Leland Rocket Launcher Lee. Well, Leland Rocket Launcher Lee is
Leland Yee.
Yee. Did I say Lee?
Yeah.
Yee. Leland Rocket Launcher Yee.
Too many L's.
Too many L's, too many R's or L's or something. I don't know. But here's the dealio. You folks remember we broke this story almost a year ago about Leland Yee. And you're like, why would you guys want to be talking about old Leland Yee? Why are you hammering on this dude? Well, Leland Yee is one of the myriad Democrat hypocrite politicians. This is one of the do as I say, not as what I do. And Leland Yee is a hardcore leftist politician, and Leland Yee hates violent video games. He thinks that your children should not be playing Assassin's Creed and Red Dead Revolver and Grand Theft Auto and blah, blah, blah. Leland Yee apparently is too ignorant to know that the median age of games and game systems is 31. That's median, not average. But Leland Yee also hates guns. Leland Yee was I don't know if he is still, but he was a big anti-gun, pro-gun control advocate. You peasants in California cannot be allowed to own guns and high-capacity clips and all that stuff, and we have to restrict your access to firearms because for the safety of the children. Well, then the FBI busted old Leland Yee and found out that Leland Yee had been taking bribes, committing extortion, and helping to traffic guns or funnel arms to the Chinese mafia. How cool is that? So we got an anti-gun politician, Mr. Leland Yee, funneling guns and not just military-style rifles, but in the indictment, it said attempting to funnel arms such as rocket launchers into the hands of the Chinese mafia in California. The irony is so thick you can cut it with a knife. All right, this story we've got it's all over the place, but this comes to us from Polygon.com. Congratulations to Polygon.com, because I typed in Leland Yee plead, and that was the number one search. So, during his bid for mayor of San Francisco and later running for Secretary of State, former California Senator Leland Yee admitted this week that he accepted bribes, extorted money, and once offered to smuggle weapons from the Philippines for undercover FBI agents who he believed were connected to a New Jersey mob. What? Leland Yee, 66, pleaded guilty on Wednesday to racketeering charges in connection to two criminal enterprises during the afternoon appearance in a federal court in San Francisco. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 plus restitution for each of the two counts. I don't know who he's paying restitution to. Maybe he's paying restitution to the Chinese mafia guys who got screwed out of their AK-47s and rocket launcher deals now. U.S. District Judge Charles Breyer is scheduled to hand down a sentence on... Check this crap out. Check this crap out, ladies and gentlemen. This is why the United States of America is so effed upside down. We've got a judicial system that is more concerned with dictating to the peasants how they're supposed to live their life than actually dishing out justice. As you're hearing this, it is the first week of July 2015. Leland Yee was arrested and charged, I'm not sure when it's
March 2014.
March of 2014, okay? So more than a year ago, they finally get to the plea deal. He pleads out, and it says, is the U.S. District Judge Charles Breyer is scheduled to hand down a sentence on October 21st. What? Take your time, Judge. This dude, all right, he pled no contest. He admitted to it. Here's the deal, folks. And we talked about this on Friday with our grad program members because it was just breaking news then. But I wanted to share this with everybody in the entire Student of the Gun audience. So congratulations, grad program people. You heard it first. But, all right, this is drug out for over a year now. And here's what you need to know. The evidence against this guy must have been so damning that his attorneys were like, here's the deal. We're not taking this to court. We're not taking this to trial. Now, as a policeman, as somebody who's gone to court, who's testified, who's been involved in trials, I can tell you this. When it comes to felony charges, everybody goes to trial. Everybody's attorney tells them to go to trial because they can fiddle fart around with the jury. You know, maybe they'll get a sympathetic jury, maybe they'll get a hung jury, maybe they'll, get mitigating circumstances. But you always take your chances with the jury because most people on jury duty are there because they couldn't figure out a good way to get out of it. And that's sick and it's disgusting, but it is actually 100% true. So the fact that this dude did not go to trial means that his attorney got with him in the room, and his attorneys, and said, hey, there's so much that they've got. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to work a plea deal here. And not only that, but when you do that, here's the story. When you go to trial, all the salacious details, all the dirty little secrets, what happens to those, Jared? They go public.
Yep.
So if Leland Yee goes to an extended, week-long, 2-week-long trial for all these charges, every single aspect of the trial, every single charge is going to be focused on by the media day after day after day. They don't want that. They don't want their glittering, their anti-gun, anti-video game, their advocate here. They don't want that guy going through this big public trial.
I think he also...
his hypocrisy is coming out.
Yeah, I think he also does not want to be killed by the mob, because if those things come out, then the mob is exposed as well.
Well, yeah, he probably is a little bit concerned about being snuffed out.
Yeah, because they have connections in prison.
What? Get out of here. So, do you want to hear what U.S. Attorney Melinda Haag
No.
Haag?
I don't really know.
Haag? Oh, okay. I'm going to say it anyway. Mr. Yi must now live with the consequences of betraying the trust that was placed in him when he became a public servant. Well, here's the deal. If you have an elected public servant, a representative, and they come out and they directly work against the will of the people, if they directly circumvent the Constitution of the United States, then what do we know? Well, I don't know, but he feels the right way. Oh, here we go. I love this.
Yeah, this is about to get good.
Which one are you talking? Ye a Democrat?
No.
Oh no! Oh, the next sentence from Melinda Haag.
Yeah, specifically
Haag?
the last sentence that she says. But yeah.
Okay. It is particularly disappointing and troubling when our elected officials violate their obligation to fairly represent their constituents. This office will continue to devote the resources necessary to ensure that our elected officials govern within the law.
Yeah.
What?
She said that.
The U.S. attorney's gonna make sure that they govern within the law,
So
that they actually know what the law is.
From now on, if we have officials that govern outside of the law, it is your fault, Attorney Melinda. It is your fault. Your office's fault.
She's only one chick. She can only do so much. Here we go. The story continues. This is funny. I apologize, rocket launcher. Yi, a Democrat who represented San Mateo County and part of San Francisco County, was a vocal opponent of video game violence and the game industry practices, as well as proponent of gun control. Yi sponsored a 2005 bill that became the basis for the Schwarzenegger versus the Entertainment Merchants Association, and a 2011 Supreme Court decision that ruled video games are protected speech under the First Amendment. Oops, he screwed up there, but we thought you guys would sincerely appreciate that. We wanted to give you a heads up as to what Leland Rocket Launcher Yi was up to. So eventually, in a few months, the judge is going to get around to, sentencing him. Take your time, Judge. I've been to Jared. Do you know how it works? If you're not a politician.
Yeah.
If you're not a politician, part of the ruling class, a celebrity, somebody famous, or have a lot of money, this is how it works in the real world. You go to trial, the trial ends, the judge finds you guilty, or the jury finds you guilty, the judge sentences you. The judge in the real world, they already have the sentence figured out. They're like, okay, if the jury comes back in and says this dude's guilty, this is what I'm going to give him. I've already figured it out. They bang the gavel. The deputy sheriff, the bailiff, walks up, puts you in handcuffs, and takes you to the jail. There's no like, you can go home for a few months, smoke a bud, hang out on your freaking couch, man, watch some freaking, TV, do whatever you got to do, bro. And then, eventually we might come and get you to take you to jail. No, if you're part of the great unwashed and you get busted, convicted, there's none of this, like, go home and hang out for a while. You go to jail. I've watched people, I've been in trials where, gave testimony. I'm sitting over there in the thing, and they bang the gavel. The bailiff walks over, grabs him, walk him out, take him straight to the hoosgow. But if you're part of the elite ruling class like Mr. Leland Yi here, you need some cool-out time. You need some chill time. So, amazing.
Yeah. I don't even... Oh, are you surprised over there?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Your jaw hit the floor. I saw it.
My coffee cup is empty. What? Where's my PA? All right, let's keep this show moving. We got actually a kind of a cool thing we're going to share with you in just a moment. But thank you to Velocity Triggers. Velocity Triggers, designed for precision. If you got a black rifle, they got a trigger for you. Go to velocitytriggers.com. Crossbreed Holsters, the makers of the Super Tuck Deluxe, with combat cut or without combat cut. It's your world. I'm just living in it. So check those guys out at crossbreedholsters.com. And we want to welcome the newest sponsor to Student of the Gun Radio. What? New sponsor? You guys so crazy. Yes, Duracoat. Duracoat, which is owned by Lauer Custom Weaponry. Duracoat's been on with us for several years as a sponsor of the Student of the Gun television show. And they are now, in addition to being a television show sponsor, they are a sponsor of Student of the Gun Radio. So listen up, hippies. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go over to their Facebook page. Is it Duracoat.com? Do me a favor, find that specifically, because it's kind of weird. Duracoat is a brand name, but it's owned by Lauer Custom Weaponry. So, but make sure and pop over there and say, hey, thank you for sponsoring Student of the Gun Radio. We really appreciate it.
If you go to LauerCustomWeaponry.com. Lauer Weaponry, sorry.
On Facebook?
No. Oh, on Facebook.
On Facebook, you hippie? I want them to go to Facebook and thank them.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. That's why I asked it.
Well, if you go to
questions.
LauerWeaponry.com, there in the top right-hand corner, there's a Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and Google Plus page. So go click on every single one of those and let them know that you appreciate them making what we do possible.
That's right, Black. You know what? We've actually been flirting with Duracoating our microphones. The official Facebook page is
Duracoat
Firearm Finishes. That's right, Duracoat Firearm Finishes. And the Dura Blue is the fashizzle. I'm not even joking with you guys. The new Dura...
You literally have to see it to believe it.
The can in can... If you've ever tried to blue a gun or re-blue a gun, you probably had, you either had not a really good experience, or it didn't turn out like you wanted it to, or you took it to a shop and they're like, yeah, I can re-blue your grandpa's shotgun, but it's going to be $257. And you're like, what? The thing's only worth $200. The Dura Blue can in can technology, I'm telling you folks, you have to prep the gun, and the preparation work is very important. But once you prep it, it's the fashizzle. It's crazy talk. I don't even know what to say. You need to go and check that out. All right, Jared, are you ready to give me the special music? Listen up, Patriots. We just came out of the 4th of July weekend, but that doesn't mean we get to stop thinking about being patriots. And we've got some friends that are patriots, and they're going to play a song for us right now.
What I want you to do, unless you're driving or on the treadmill, is close your eyes and listen.
Can you see by just the same. Stand in the brain, the U.S. of A. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave for the land of free? In the
If you don't have chills right now, if that doesn't send chills up your spine, if that doesn't instill you with a sense of pride, I have bad news for you. You have no soul. Sorry. I'm sorry. But
You don't have to be sorry.
yeah, the Declaration of Independence, Action, Second Continental Congress, July 4, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 united with a small u states, capital S, of America. You guys know that, right? It was originally supposed to be a confederation of independent nations. What? Come on now. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God, capital G, entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation. That is the first part. Now here's the part that you know. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator, capital C, with certain unalienable rights, capital R, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You know, the original Declaration from Virginia said life, liberty, and property. Did you know that, Jared? It did.
Yes.
That to ensure amongst these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. The consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms which they are accustomed. Kind of like comfortable slaves. Kind of like the elephant. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty. Somebody recently talked about civic duty and the loss thereof. To throw off such government and to provide new guards for future security. Such has been the patient suffering of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former system of government. The history of the King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Now, folks, I'm not going to read the entire Declaration of Independence from beginning to end, but I want you to consider this. Actually, number one, I want you to get a copy of the Declaration of Independence, and I want you to sit down quietly, brew a cup of coffee, whatever you need to do, and I want you to read it beginning to end. And I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to substitute king for the word president. Put in the word president or Congress in the word king and parliament. And I also want you to consider, could that have been written yesterday? Or could that be written tomorrow? Consider the long train of abuses and usurpations of the liberties and freedoms and rights of the citizens of the United States of America. And ponder to yourself, if the usurpations and abuses of 1776, 75, 70 were actually less than those we are encountering on a daily basis today in the United States of America. Yes, we are pro-gun. Yes, we are pro-Second Amendment. But you know what we're really pro? We're really pro-Bill of Rights. We are really pro-representative republic. Here at Student of the Gun, we are very much pro-Constitution, and not only freedom, but liberty. And liberty entails and demands duty on the part of the citizen. Freedom is not just something you wake up and get. Liberty is not something that is handed to you as your birthright. Liberty is something that you must struggle for, that you must fight to maintain on a daily basis. And if you can't do that, you need to go somewhere else. All right, that's it for today. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of Student of the Gun Radio. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you are checking out all that we have to offer. Student of the Gun Television, we're not just a show, we're a channel. We're on Roku. Get a Roku box, watch us on demand whenever you feel like it. The mobile app for your iPhone or your Android phone or your iPad. It costs you absolutely nothing thanks to our friends at Century Arms, so download it today. We will be back tomorrow with more hilarity, information, and enlightenment. Bye.